I was starting with the starting to quite also minor also starting to quite a vicious surroundment of to wear or also unwear unwhere then also from a also another also for also then unaware also is gotten to also from also minor also vicious surroundment also of minor repetition also not also vicious surroundment also minor also proper just proper or also it's generic languages major troubles of sort of probable concept of similar effects ongoings of Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. Which one hasn't been covered by mass amount of these opposites? Of the cases of the non-Aryans, these support these hold position proper goes to non-Aryan stalls. So then why should the Aryans offer them this much materials towards them? Then aren't those superior? At today's society that doesn't exist, mass amount of these various ethnic groups are different groups of adapters of quite vicious. What are adapters they're doing? What are they there doing for? Lots of the persons are not what's called citizens are not innocent. They're augmenters. Far more free from the amount of sort of limitations towards arguments. The proper arguments a lot more. Also from also minor, also or proper. Constantly commentates. These commentate towards Adolf Hitler. Suppose he wasn't that. Suppose there was another Hitler, or also similar characters to proper also titles. They will continue towards commentate towards Hitler, or proper or Hitlers of despite. Proper also or proper also minor, but proper also proper or characters of which. Or is pop also from repop also another repop also characters which pop also from which pop also minor pop also probable which no pop also despite in the mass amount these welfare also improvements those has received of, yet it just leaves it off, doesn't claim their superiority. They're far more potent, they're also a lot more aggressive. The Hitler supposedly could commentate on Hitler, while Hitler hasn't even commentated on their hideousness. Lots of wisdom qualmark humans doesn't qualify to be here. So if the commentation is probable coverage, then that's probably not insured. What's that going to result to? What if some characters, after this stackage of a spam, due to process of they simply then doesn't notice it, or sort of cannot recall certain stuff, then what would it be? They want accidental diminish? Some of these Nazis, that's Nazi wishful. But you're the SpongeBob probably also principle to absorb as much hate as possible, even towards choking levels. But that's probably also that choking level usually almost sort of already beyond it. Which probably also from which probably also name it. Too many traps out there with this vast amount of the process need to be taken to minimize the amount of threats to be balanced off. But the way to overcome it is to also assist with mass amount of even greater imperialism to the extent that they no longer mention imperialism. If describes not on Twitter. Various social mediums. Social medias belong to persons to be shared with, not to occupy the mass amount of these posers, Nazis that are number-based, doing this Muslim types of conquests towards other stuff, also descriptions not of providence towards also. Despite their weird doubts, years spent in these jails, these posts at schools, our comrades continue, various comrades from various countries continue to combat towards this probable also of not of providence of voice of probable also toward probable also minor probable also probably probable this probable from which probable also this number based aku of probable also not providence of voice of probable also towards Nazis or probable war towards which called back fugitives probable also of a relation of probable also minor probable also probable also from. Only to the extent of probable of sort of despair, were the ones that remain with Hitler will definitely be favor of for Hitler, of probable also sort of that contact probable with itself probable also minor probable also probable also from probable, also minor, probable, is probable, also another probable, also minor, probable, also probable, used for probable, also would have that will also be a form of oath. Probable also of the name, probable also minor, probable also probable, probable also of support towards Hitler. The West, probable also with fomat unlocked a lot of technology and prematurely. There are leaks of mentai. There are also leaks of defects. You may perhaps take Elon Musk's gigafactories with mass amount of drones produced to counter towards us. The status quo are their weapons. After they murdered the King of France, or Louis XI of from Knights, or Louis the 15th, or another Louis also 11th from France. Then they starts to argue, attrition grinds, and treat these Tavaimov, despite these obtain the welfare for free. They present their sort of richness. What a bunch of manufactured churn machines. The creators, or exterior forces, wants there to be simple persons, sort of generous, also a bit general. Probably not one also desired, or from also minor, also probably desired to be this complex, sort of those complexity is sort of also probably also mess of, which probable sets of or messes of. Somewhat today, and probably also applicable of modernity, or probably at Romania, probably at the was called back American, probably was called back American region of. Probably also another probably also was called back America of probably also a format of probably also of probably also another probably also minor probably also probably reason for probably also someone could be named as rich, but that wouldn't result. Probably also sort of probably also another probably also probably of probably also independent of how they will be treated because they are rich. Probably also it will be sort of a similar label, probably also minor, probably also probable, which probably also from probably also minor, probably also probable, which the probably also another, probably also minor, which the probably also there, probably also another, probably also minor, probably also or probable, which probably also regarded as rich, probably also then they wouldn't probably also minor, probably also probable, probably also from probably also another, probably. Probably also they would be wavered, or will no longer obtain certain support that are some of those stated as for every citizen, probably for citizens of, probably also of various programs of the society. Then are there sort of dramatism? Lots of this dupe, so Steve Jobs regarded those as proper persons at least. To continue to give those iPhones, the day they were education started, probably in the initial weeks, probably also from probably also minor, probably at the initial days of this education, it literally translated to a breakdown of the formal class of persons. No longer does they retain the same similar groups. Then they becomes assimilation towards status quo. Then status quo assimilate to the original countries they migrate towards, or somehow brooded at the nearby regions that were mocked together, incorporated as citizens since the citizen bureau started it. You want to take this final chance on behalf of the Deutsche Volks to announce to the various Zambasists they cannot prevail at this war. They're part of sort of if it's a more of a program, they'll be the ones that functionality will get erased. A proper high chance of, for the even micro percentage, they need to be saved. The ones that want to change, they can, or the ones that change, there are opportunities for it. The punishments, or probably whether they will be continue to be citizens of, will depend on the decisions. Probable also solely of probable, also minor of probable, also probable or also format of probable or mainly of probable, also from of or recent probable, also probable. Wrong answers get rewarded. Wrong ways to counter towards non-answers get rewarded. They are spreading so much anesthetic sprays. Anyone that sort of get injured are giving sort of a counter towards that via alarmism. They're countering towards alarmism. They are liars that are so free, able to generate all various types of augmentations. Today they're that person, today they're immigrants. The ones that are advantaged, supposedly down to various countries. Probable also, that's probable almost equivalent of its occurrence of. Then those probable were at also probable also yours, probable also minor, probable also proper, probable also proper, probable also another, probable also minor, probable also proper. Reason for probable or at recent, probable also were formatted, probable or also recent years of probable also at of reason for probable. Those will still insist. Still has its divisions of the Zambasists asking for propitiation or punishing towards others via asking. Those doesn't want to be emperor. They stay as an employee until the emperor no longer becomes useful. The particular counter, probably an effective one, are to counter towards their alarmism. They're purposely spreading these anti-Semitic sprays, lying, seeing the effort extensively. Suppose there are bureaus that does family planning or posats of which probable also from which probable also which probable also. Then those starts their spells could be varieties. They are they're at 15 love, 30 love, 40 love game. 15 love, Donald Trump angers protesters. 13 love, Donald Trump assaults protesters. 40 love, Donald Trump picks up a machine gun, shot a couple out of this billions of Zambasists allegiance, then gain. Donald Trump become tried as a fascist, be thoroughly removed. Republic were also minor. Republic removed from the very same country that he sort of probably also equivalent invited a lot of the guests, so probably also invited more of, probably invited to stay of, which probably also from, which probably also were probably. Two of the main linings are via sort of this operate as a friend. It can be effective because persons tend to not question orders. People tend to not question sort of commands from above, so they just operate from authoritative tone. This probably also related. Probably the civil duty, also the sort of the social notions of probably the social impact. Probably also minor. Probably also proper. Probably also those are sort of the two linings. Probably for the distortions of. Design coverage are extensive to the level of these intellectuals. How many are sort of on their drugs or personified? English completely changed, right? Probably, especially of probably also of relevant towards probably also minor, probably also proper, probably also or formatted, probably also another, probably also minor, probably also proper, which probably also variants of which probably also relate to this war efforts of which probably towards these combats of. Even though it's sort of not as announced who are the common persons for, but they are sort of at the functionality level, they devote towards the return of Adolf Hitler to prominence. They set up. It's also indicative of their vicious surroundment, to where the reputations are just edited by them. What are acceptable, what are not acceptable. It's not done by the generals even. The generals are more of within their status quo than they're within proper ethics. This law are almost completely built for the Zambasists, so they could reign as this underling boss that continue to be this employee, continue to have their money reduced, probably their cash reduced at these casinos, but yet they come back twice the numbers of. What qualifies them to even attend these casinos? That requires intelligence, requires teamwork to build. If not directly involved with so much teamwork, but the foundation for that, for example, were the prerequisites, probably they unlock, probably those technologies, so probably also productions a lot to do. Probably are also minor, probably also proper, probably are also proper, probably also another, probably also minor, probably also proper, probably are manufacturer, which probably also minor or proper, which probably also another, probably also minor, probably also or proper. This West has a large amount of these mentais. It shouldn't be for an intellectual to have low ethics. What is a technologist with low ethnic? What are that about? That one are insane. It belongs to asylum. It should get medications. Zambas' coverage is still very extent because it's to the point that even if it's very persuasive, some of the devoted comrades would rather more focus, probably or also a large factor of more preferable choices, probably or sets of choices, probably also minor, probably also proper, probably or choices, probably also minor from, probably also another, probably also minor, probably also or probably also another, probably or also minor, probably also or proper, probably also from, probably also another, which probably also more preferred towards question or sort of similar, more argue towards lots of the towards proper persons of proper also personals or proper also minor proper also proper proper also then of criticized toward the degens, then under degens has the indestructible shield if it's at the functionality level. So the last how it's stated or proper also the titles proper also will be described towards it. Suppose the proper or descriptions proper or also titles, probably also untitles, probably also proper, for you probably also another free probably also minor, free probably also proper, free probably also. Suppose they are major unpreferable towards almost to also want changes, probably or to also proper free probably also proper, free probably also format, free probably also or minor, free probably also proper, free probably also. Then or also to prevent certain accidental towards cause certain troubles towards or also minor also damage also not also minor also proper also then those are effectively indestructible shields of reason also granted from the police protections those has attained of. These various equality policies are probably more so towards assist to their conquest. Equality aren't sort of fairness. Suppose it's sort of neutral, or friendly relations. It will be sort of mutual respect that almost both parties regard the other one as better. Then that's a general relationship. That cannot be formed with the Nazis. They're anti-others, they're anti-societies, they're also anti their hijack corpses. Also from it, also anti themselves, also with Kormakov. Also from it, also Kormak. Free pop also with free pop also spacer marker, free pop also minor, free pop also proper with. Which the free pop also free pop also another free pop also format. Free pop also another free pop also minor, which the pop also proper with. Which the for proper also free pop also another. Which the for proper or also variants of which pop also of. Which the for proper also another. Which the for proper of. Which the for proper that's it of this video also video instance of original for proper that's it of this video proper also video instance of